April 5th, I have some thoughts, and it's probably not the thought that you want to hear, but I'm going to ask you to listen to it anyways. A lot of what I see from white people is they feel upset because Black and brown people are not wanting to go to the protest. And from what I see, the white people are really saying that them choosing to do so is divisive. Here's the thing, is that it's not actually divisive. What you're feeling is fear. And it's that fear that on April 5th, you will not have the bodies of Black and brown people to lay their lives down on the front line for you. You're not going to have Black and brown bodies to hide behind. You are being asked to step up. As white people, we have not only been conditioned, but we have gotten so used to having Black and brown people fight for our freedoms.
If you're a person of color and you think that you're gonna sit out on this massive protest that's happening on April 5th, that's a good idea. Yeah, stay home, stay safe. We all know that the powers that be love a scapegoat, and historically speaking, that's been y'all. So stay home, stay safe. We got you. However, if you have a skin tone like mine, if you are fucking fluorescent, okay, in any capacity, I need your asses to get out of your house on the 5th and do what needs to be done. You need to be loud, you need to be proud, peaceful, and you need to go make some noise at whatever major city is closest to you. Okay? Okay. Yeah, there's not going to be an out for you. You have to be out there.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome back to my YouTube space. Now, in today's video, I'm going to talk about April 5th. Okay, we are in April, and it has only remained some few hours. America is going to march. It's called hand-off protest against Donald Trump, and Black people have been warned not to go outside. Black people or Black Americans or people of color, you are being warned not to go outside because of some reasons that we all know reason behind, but we will talk about it nevertheless. Okay, a lot of videos have been done on social media, more so on TikTok, where Black people are like, okay, this is not our fight, this is not our battle. Of course it is the battle of Black people too, because Black Americans are going through problems, or through this government is going, crazy over them too, but it's because of the result that may come after the protest, or a result that may come on the protest, because Black people are being used as a bait, or this is being used as a bait to get Black people on the street. And you know how this all ends. We all know these movies. You have seen this before. We have seen how it started and how it ends, where Black people are on the street protesting. Now, a lot of things have been done, or Donald Trump, it's called the Trump government or administration, are trying to do some things to upset people. Latinos are being upset, white Americans are being upset, but Black people are just cool. Like, okay, we are okay. We are not going anymore. We are not doing this anymore. We have done this before, and we ain't doing this anymore. Let's just watch for the rest of the 4 years. We ain't going. Now, I want you to see these videos where Black people are being warned not to go on the street, and the reaction of some Black people on April 5th, and then we'll come back again and talk about it.
So apparently 1 million people are set to protest on April 5th, and I want to let all Black people know, sit your Black asses down. You're not moving. You're not going nowhere. This is not our fight. Let 1 million of their people go out there, and let's see how law enforcement handles them, okay? You all sit your Black asses down. This is not our fight. They had the chance to align themselves with us back in November. They made their choice. They voted for how they wanted to vote for. So let them go and march. Let them go and protest. Let them go and rally. Let them go shed their blood, sweat, and tears. You stay your Black asses inside, okay? Thank you. Oh, sit your Black asses down. This is not our fight. They had the chance to align themselves with us back in November. They made their choice. They voted for how they wanted to vote for. So let them go and march. Let them go and protest. Let them go and rally. Let them go shed their blood, sweat, and tears. You stay your Black asses inside. So apparently 1 million people are set to protest on April 5th, and I want to let all Black people know, sit your Black asses down. You're not moving. You're not going nowhere. This is not our fight. Let 1 million of their people go out there and let's see how law enforcement handles them, okay? You all sit your black asses down. This is not our fight. They had the chance to align themselves with us back in November. They made their choice. They voted for how they wanted to vote for. So let them go and march. Let them go and protest. Let them go and rally. Let them go shed their blood, sweat, and tears. You stay your black asses inside, okay? Thank you.
April 5th. If you're participating, turn off your biometrics. Have a Sharpie to write phone numbers on. Make sure that the people that you are participating with have some sort of bail bond set up. Make sure that people know where you are. Make sure that you have some sort of way to communicate with the people that you're with. These are things that I hope people know already when it comes to protesting, but if you don't, it's important to know the biometrics so that law enforcement can't get into your phone without a passcode that you are not required to give. Sharpies to write phone numbers on in case you're not taking a phone, so that you have a phone number that you can memorize, whether it is a guardian, a parent, a spouse, a partner, a friend, a lawyer, so that you don't lose that number. Communications, so that you can communicate with people that you're with that are in ways, again, not easily accessible. Making sure that you're not alone. I know community can be difficult to build right now, but if you can have somebody with you, have somebody with you, especially for the unknown. And I'm gonna be perfectly frank, white people, this is your time to stand in the gap. This is your time to take the front line. This is your time to not expect black and brown people to be alongside you. We've been telling you what needs to be done. We've been showing you what needs to be done. Get out there, make it happen.
1 million people are going to march on April 5th. Black people sit your too eager to please, ready cape wearing, crashing out over the rollback of policies that never benefited black people in mass whining, allow anybody to the cookout who can do a black scent or a stiff ass twerk inviting, Stockholm syndrome having ass down. This is not a fight. Black people realize when something is our fight and when something is not. And sitting our black ass down is so important. It's so important.
What is the government going to do about the protests on April 5th? I can tell you from experience, having organized and participated in countless protests. I was at Standing Rock, and the Lakota Sioux had called for veterans to come join them to stop the DAPL pipeline. Veterans showed up en masse. I was one of those veterans. We were tasked with taking the bridge from the sheriff's office because the encampment near the bridge had been cut off to vehicle traffic, and so over 1,000 veterans marched on that bridge in a whiteout snowstorm. Some people didn't even march. They were in wheelchairs. The sheriffs backed down. We took the bridge, and darkness started settling in, and we went to the encampment. Everybody needed a place to stay because the road was closed, okay? No vehicles could come or go. Emergency vehicles couldn't come. Nobody could come through. Part of the reason was the weather. Part of the reason was I think that it was their way of kettling us kind of in a dangerous situation because temperatures dropped below 30, 40 degrees below zero. I mean, it was very, very fucking cold. And nobody could get out. So we were stuck at this camp. So we all started huddling in tents. There were agitators at that protest, and they were inciting violence. They were encouraging violent protests for the next day. And one of the elders kicked the man out of the tent. And it's like dark. There's no way to get out of this encampment. It's very cold. And I was like, man, this guy's going to die. Like, we can't really kick him out. You know what I mean? He's going to perish in the cold. And a lot of people were saying that. And she said, no, they'll come pick him up. And I'm like, they? Who's they? You know? Sure enough, he walked to the road and someone came and picked him up. His friends, the people that paid him to come into that encampment and agitate. They were allowed to drive on that road. It was all organized by them, the agitation. And I am telling you right now, on April 5th, there's going to be agitators. And I'm telling you right now, they are feds or they are people hired by feds, okay? So if you see somebody inciting violence, I need you to film them. I need you to film them and call them out. Tell them they're a fed. Tell them they're an agitator. Tell them they're an outsider and film them. And if you follow them long enough, you'll see them get into a police vehicle. Mark my words.
So whatever you do not fall for it. There can be no violence on April 5th.
Please let me know in the comments if you guys know what's going on April 5th.
Yes, sir. On April 5th, a lot of large organizations like Move On, I think the Social Security Administration, a lot of major organizations are putting on a protest to protest the stuff that Trump is doing this Saturday. And because of the size of the organizations that's putting it on, I expect it to be a lot of people too. I do. I've already been getting text messages about it here, even in Dallas. They have one that's scheduled here in Dallas also. The reason why there are so many videos telling us to stay home is because in Project 2025, their blueprint to how to destroy this country, they wrote in there that when a big protest happened, they're going to institute martial law. And we know anytime Black people protest, they always come with extra violence. So rather they implement martial law at this protest or not, it's their plan to do so, and they more than likely are going to do so. But whether they do or not, it's best for us to stay home to be safe, because this isn't our fight. We did what we were supposed to do November 5th, 2024. And what America is going through right now currently is on the backs of people who do not want to hear us that Project 2025 was real. And these things were not going to just hurt Black people, but they were going to hurt all Americans. But people voted for him anyways because they did not care about all Americans. They just cared about themselves. And so a lot of those people who the light bulb has gone off in their heads now are going to protest. We do not need to be outside. In fact, please make sure your children are home. The teenagers, make sure our kids are not being curious, because you know they like to get curious, want to go down into these places and stuff like that. No. It is our job to save as many of our lives as possible, because we know, especially from his last administration, our lives are the last lives that they care about.
Hey, y'all, look, they trying to push our buttons. They are really trying to push our buttons. And quite frankly, yeah, ever since we've been sitting out, this down, they've been trying to push our buttons to get a response from us, okay? You have April 5th coming up, okay? So I'm going to need y'all to chill. I'm going to need y'all to calm down, get you some shit to drink, and we're going to ride this one out, okay? But listen, let me tell y'all what I mean by them revving up our insides, or trying to rev up our insides, y'all. DEI. Affirmative action. Releasing Derek Chauvin. I can't breathe. Dismantling Black Lives Matter Plaza. You gonna bring back segregation? Bring that shit on. We ready for that one. Bring it back. Stop the funding for historically Black colleges. Yeah, that part, y'all. But we're gonna sit our ass right here and we're gonna stay resilient.
Suspect is on the loose. I can't believe somebody just knocked at our door and asked us, are we marching in April? I said, what's April? She said, hey, well, you know, hold up, Pooh. Let me tell you this. The only thing I'm worried about is in April, who cooking what? Who's bringing the potato salad over to my auntie house? Who is grilling? Because y'all already know it's going to be hot. It's going to be warm for Easter. That's the only thing I got going on in April. I'm just saying April showers bring May flowers. Other than that stuff that you're talking about, Pooh, that is not our battle. I already marched in November. I already know where me and my family stand. Get off my porch. That's what I wanted to say. But I was nice. I was respectful. Okay, neighbor, that's your battle. It's not ours. Because the only thing I'm doing is about to run over here and grab my fan. Because let me tell y'all better try to figure out, hey, that's what I should have told her. Only thing y'all should be focusing on in April, coming up with y'all line dancing and coming up with the rules and the do's and the don'ts of y'all family cookouts. Spring break is coming. That's the only thing we focusing on. Other than that, enjoy y'all season.
April 5th, I have some thoughts, and it's probably not the thought that you want to hear, but I'm going to ask you to listen to it anyways. A lot of what I see from white people is they feel upset because Black and brown people are not wanting to go to the protest. And from what I see, the white people are really saying that them choosing to do so is divisive. Here's the thing, is that it's not actually divisive. What you're feeling is fear. And it's that fear that on April 5th, you will not have the bodies of Black and brown people to lay their lives down on the front line for you. You're not going to have Black and brown bodies to hide behind. You are being asked to step up. As white people, we have not only been conditioned, but we have gotten so used to having Black and brown people fight for our freedoms that we have become entitled to it and we expect it. They are always the ones on the front line. We're usually behind them. And that entitlement is something that we really need to unlearn. We need to learn how to stand up, not just for our rights, but for theirs as well. Because our lives really aren't on the line. You know, if you look at past protests that have happened, it's really Black and brown people who are the ones who are arrested, who are the ones who are more likely to be unalived. They are way more aggressive towards them than they are to white people. Even in the media, they make it all about Black and brown people and how destructive and aggressive they are, instead of the fact that they are just fighting for the basic human rights for everybody. And this entitlement, this fear, has become ingrained inside of our white bodies, inside of our nervous systems, and inside of our energetic systems. And it is our duty to unlearn it, because really, we should be the ones shielding them, because we're not in the line of danger as much as they are. And the last thing I'll leave with you is that systemic oppression is a white people problem, because our ancestors are the ones who created this mess, and our white butts are the ones who continue to uphold it, which means it is our mess to undo.
Welcome back. I don't know if you are seeing me well because of the light. Sorry for that. My visual is not so much good, but I've seen the reactions and warnings towards Black people. And it's like white people are now warning Black people too. They're like telling them, okay, it's like, we care about you. Don't come outside. This is our fight. And I'm like, okay. It's good to see some white people, they really care about, because they know what the system will do to the Black people, and they know how the government always tackle all these issues and protests and everything. And that's why some white people too are warning the people of color not to go outside. Of course, the government of United States cannot do something bad towards the white people. They always take their fight to the people of color. And that's why Black people are being warned, because this is like, as being said, will be the biggest protest to ever happen in US. More than 2 million people are going to march. And Donald Trump is not going to joke about this. He's going to use force to tackle or to handle this, because he is just in power. And as one of the guys said, Donald Trump, when he will be there, he'll be after revenge. And Kamala Harris will be just being told things to do. So Donald Trump is after revenge. So there's a number of people, or there's some type of people or race will suffer if they go onto the street. So those Black people who are hearing this message from other Americans is that don't go outside or don't protest. The reason being, this may be a bait to get Black people out on the street, because everything that's being done, or the administration is doing a number of things, and a lot of people are complaining. White Americans are complaining, MAGA are complaining, Latinos are complaining, Mexican, Cubans, Venezuelans are complaining, but Black people are like, okay, we're good with this. We are not raising any alarm. We are not protesting. We are not complaining. Let's just keep quiet. Okay. Sorry to say, but one of my friend, a Black American, told me that yes, we are going through a lot. This thing is eating us up too. When you talk about the Department of Education, when you talk about the health system, how is it expensive, economy, it's eating even Black people up. But Black people, they are tackling this issue in this manner. They have been here, and it's like, okay, we have been here, we know this thing, and we can just pass it through. That's what Black people are trying to say. Like, okay, we are going through a lot, but definitely we are okay with it, and we can endure anything. We have gone through hell, through a number of shits, this is just nothing. That's what black people are saying. But at the end of the day, even black people are having problems with the United or the Trump administration. But for the sake of peace, for the sake of we don't want to shed black people blood again, let's unite as black people and stay quiet. And I love how black people have united this round on this. They're like speaking one language. Then if we don't go out, let's not go out. They're speaking one language, like, okay, they voted for Donald Trump. We told them they are finding out the hard way, and we all black people, let's unite and let's keep quiet. And I love that. And if we keep this unity going, even in supporting black businesses, if we keep this unity going, supporting things that black people are doing, instead of just uniting in these issues so that you can prevent yourself from heartbreaks and these hard feelings, like, this is a way to tackle the hardship, is a way to tackle the economy, is a way to tackle the Trump administration. So, as I said, I love the way the black people have been united to tackle this issue, because if you are disunited, other black people will be doing things. Maybe others will go for the fight, others will stay home, and it won't be good. But I love how black people have been united in this, and I'm looking forward for black people or black Americans to unite in a number of things. And these 4 years of Donald Trump, the unity is all that will work. Even when the segregation comes, it's all the unity that will work. Fighting the economy is the unity that will work. Putting money into black Americans for black Americans, this will work so much. And you will find that black Americans, they won't be complaining that much, because they are uniting and are working together and bringing things up together. Now, about the warning not to go outside is because when I said, because it's used as a bait to get black people out of the street. The administration have been doing a number of things, but black people have been quiet. So black people are warned that this is a way to get you on the street, and they want to introduce the martial law to the people. So this is what you are being told: don't go out. Because even one of the video, one is saying that if you are going to this street, make sure you have the bonds and the bails ready. Make sure you know people. Make sure you blah blah blah. Because make sure people knows where you are. Because there is this fear that the government is trying to do something. There is something fishy behind all this. And the white people may be okay. Let's go to the street. But white people, or the MAGA supporters, or the white Americans, they ain't be facing hardship during their protest. They will protest. They will go, nothing will be done to them. But when you are a person of color, it is hard on you when it comes times of protesting and etc. etc. But at the end of the day, black people have learned a lot, and they have learned it the hard way. And that's why black people are telling Americans voters, don't vote for Donald Trump. And they had their reason. They told them, Trump will do this and this. Trump is saying this. That means we will be the one who it will affect us as people of color, and even the Americans, about the economy. Now, black people have been crying in each and every government or administration, and that's why they are so like, okay, we understand these things and we have been here. And now the white Americans, they are getting it the hard way, because they have been living in a soft era. But Trump is not about anyone. Trump is just about the rich people. That's why he is cutting West, as he said. That's why he is removing some departments, and it's only white people who are enjoying his tenure. Okay, so white or black people, the warning is, do not go outside on April 5th. You are our brothers and sisters. You are our cousins, our mothers and fathers. And I believe this message is going to hit you not to go, because we ain't going to lose another set or another people or our black family simply because of the things that black people have been fighting for so long. Like, it's obvious. It's obvious. Every and each thing that it's happening right now, black people have been facing it in each and every administration. The black people who has been so poor in education, economy has been high, health, poor health system. Even when they remove this Department of Education, black people are like, okay, we'll teach our own children. This, like, You know, like the Asians did that. Asian American, they teach their own children. They don't depend on American education system. They depend on their own system. So it is nothing. So black people are like, okay, we cool with this. We cool with this. And I'm looking forward for black Americans at large and black people at large in America to teach their children about their culture and use their own means to educate their children, because if they depend on this American education, the system, it's broken. And I don't know, it's Trump, maybe Trump wants to have a generation that is not well educated. I don't know what's the reason behind removing the Department of Education, but again, I may say all of these things is being done to frustrate the people of color and even the white people, the middle class and the low class. Okay, because the higher class are not affected with these issues. So I have just one message to my black family, and the message is unity. This time that April 5th, people are going to protest, we have to stay at home, you know, eat your popcorns, create a WhatsApp group, just talk how you are going to support each other, support black business. Let's use this time where people are going to the street, use this time to think about yourself, to think about how you are going to achieve things when you are here, to think about how you are making to make it big, and to think about Africa. Take that time to think about motherland. Okay, I know not all black Americans love to think about African motherland, but take that time just to think about something about the motherland, because I believe all this frustration and hardship will just end if all black people are united and speak one language. And when you talk black people, we are talking about Africans too. We are talking about Afro-Latinos. We are talking about, you know, everyone who is black. You know, the unity is all that will cure all these diseases. And let me tell you, there's a way they don't want black people to unite, because they know when we unite as black people, it's a greatest weapon. It will be more than the bombs, more than, we call what, these weapons that they all use, you know. That's what they fear. They fear the unity of black people. But again, I may say, at the end of the day, we as black people, most of us are being used. There's things used as bait, you know, like it's a bait to take black people to the street so that they can protest and every blah blah blah. You know about the police brutality, things will go crazy, and you understand what I'm trying to say. So about the police brutality and everything, we as black people need to be vigilant. You all need to be vigilant and stay calm and be cool at this April 5th. Now, just tell me what you think on the comment section about this video. Don't go to the street on April 5th, or you think of going. If you think of going, you have some advices there from fellow black people and some white people. You know, it's all about peace, 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 and solidarity and unity of us black people is all that we need. Okay? Until next time, peace out.